Here's a great exercise called the Shin Box. This exercise can be done for anybody at any level of flexibility, and we're going to show you some easy regressions at the start and show you how to progress this into a more advanced Shin Box movement. Now just take yourself into this starting position, both legs right in front of you, one foot's flat on the ground. With that leg, with the foot flat on the ground, just grab the shin and pull that leg out to the side. Now ideally you want to aim to get the knee level with the hip out to the side and then work on opening up the knee angle on both legs, so you're roughly about 70-80 degrees. But this is a significant stretch for most people just to hold this position, so if it's too much, just bring the heels back in towards the hamstring, as May is showing here. And this is a much easier position for most people to start off with this movement. Bring the hands in behind you and just allow your body to relax into those arms and bring the lower back down towards the floor. This is an easier position to start with, and with the outside leg, take it up as far as you can before you move the inside leg, aiming to bring your knees all the way over to the other side, touching the floor on both sides. This is full internal and external rotation of both legs. When people do this, they tend to slide the feet, and that takes away from the mobility that you're trying to achieve within the hip joint, so ensure that the feet do not move as you do this movement. They stay in the same place, create the same footprint each time. Walking your hands in closer and closer towards your lower back will force your torso to be more upright. That encourages more movement through the hip. And as you can see, just as you're doing the move, you can just walk the hands in a little bit more and more. This will increase the difficulty of the exercise into a much more advanced movement where you bring the hands out in front of you and do the full movement. This requires significant core stability. What people tend to do initially when they do this movement is they almost fall backwards. So as you can see May here, her back is significantly curved and she's got this C-shaped spine going on. So if that's going on, you're trying to encourage yourself to get more and more upright over time. So May did a bad example on purpose there, and now she's going to be more upright, chest through, trying to stay as upright as possible as you do the Shin Box action. If you feel confident that you can keep your torso upright during the movement, then you're going to add a hip extension in at the end, so you're driving through the front foot, the outside of the knee, squeezing the butt together and pushing up through, extending the hip through. This adds a whole new level of mobility and stretch to the exercise. You can twist, laterally rotate, anything you wish at this level will help to mobilize the hips. But on the way down, you're trying to get the butt cheek of the back foot down first, as May has shown there. Now this may be impossible for most people, and it may be impossible for your entire life, but if you can just try to think about getting the back leg butt cheek down first, you'll get a lot more out of that negative hip extension going on. Again, just pushing through the hips, nice square position through the pelvis. There's a little drive, pushing the hip into more extension, trying to get a bit of rotation in the hip by rotating the upper body. Just any playing around will help to mobilize the hip in this area, and again a very slow negative. Now the full Shin Box is a locomotion progression and there's so much movement, so feel free to play around if you're at this level. What sort of movements can you do to add a bit more into the hip box? May's just driving, extending her spine through a little bit more. Feel free to play. Bringing the belly down towards the front leg knee is going to give you a bit more stretch through the outside of the front hip. A wonderful movement that will lubricate your hip capsule. Again, just showing how this can progress into other more locomotive moves, putting a bit of load into the back foot, back big toe. It's unlimited where a Shin Box can take you. Good job, mate.